Here are 3 things that you need to gather and have before you start the planning process when you're working on an estate plan with your attorney. So number 1, I want you to gather the names, addresses, and phone numbers of all of the family members in your life and the friends that you intend to include in your estate plan. So this could be kind of like a mini address book that you put together on an Excel sheet or a Word document, whatever the case. So if you're thinking about including your parents as guardians for your kids, maybe create an Excel sheet that has their name, their current address, and their current phone numbers. It would be really helpful, not to the attorney who's working on it, but actually to your successor trustees when time comes to contact these people. Number 2 is I want you to gather information about your assets. Now, these don't need to be really detailed, but you need to be able to tell the attorney, like, hey, I have a checking account at Bank of America and I have an investment account with Merrill Lynch. You don't necessarily need to disclose the account number, and I would recommend you don't disclose the account number to any attorney asking you for it because they don't need it. However, it would be great for you to have a running list of all your assets, and again, it would be very helpful for your successor trustee when they're administering your trust if something happens to you, to be able to know exactly what you had as a snapshot as of 2024, for example. And finally, the last type of information you need to gather for your attorney relates to your business entities. So if you have LLCs or corporations, make sure that you have your corporate book or your LLC book on hand. Most of the time, the attorney will want to review that, or will want to review at least your bylaws or your operating agreement to make sure there's no restrictions on transfer before they do their work. So make sure you have your corporate or LLC books or your business agreement or your general partnership agreement on hand, and make sure it's the signed version. Don't send your attorney the unsigned version of these documents. So those are the 3 types of information and also documentation that you should have ready before you start the planning process. Now, it's okay to start the planning process if you don't have these documents, which is mostly the case for my clients because we just gather the information as we go along, and it is a very lengthy process that we go through. So you're going to have time to submit this information. It doesn't all have to be ready to go at that first meeting, but these are just things you can do for yourself if you're the type of person that likes to prepare ahead of time. So those are the 3 types of information. We hope you found this video helpful. If you did, feel free to share it or like